Good afternoon and welcome to the Recovering Perfectionist Mama Grace in Progress podcast. I'm Buffy. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. Happy to have you. Just to give you a little bit of insight into who I am and why I have a podcast. I am a women's lifestyle creator on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, covering topics such as marriage, children, self-empowerment, self-improvement, mental health, fitness, nutrition, mindset, as well as life hacks, biohacking, gut microbiome, all things that concern women. So if you're a returning viewer, thank you. Once again, happy to have you here today. Today, we're going to talk about cultivating a positive mindset. Reframe, rebuild, and rise. Isn't that what we're meant for? We're all meant to rise, aren't we? So have you ever caught yourself spiraling into negative self-talk before your days even started? Maybe it's that little voice that says, I'm not enough. Or why does this always happen to me? But what if that voice wasn't your truth, but just an old recording you could rewrite? You know, I actually saw something recently on Facebook that said, our inner voice isn't really ours. It is the culmination of everyone who has spoken to us. It's like our inner voice is made up of other people's opinions of who we are, what we've done wrong, what we should do, what we're failing at, right? And it's almost like this recording that plays over and over and over. Isn't that such a paradigm shift to think about? So your first grade teacher who told you that you weren't good enough, guess what? She is living rent-free in your head, right? Your abusive, maybe step-parent you had who told you that you were stupid and you'd never amount to anything, guess what? Also living rent-free. When are we going to start charging these people? I don't know. I'd like to know because I have some people I could charge. Just kidding, of course. In today's episode, we're diving deep into the mindset shifts that turn everyday negativity into powerful growth. How to reframe your thoughts, practice positive self-talk that actually feels real, and build emotional resilience for whatever life throws your way. Welcome, guys, to the Recovering Perfectionist Mama Grace in Progress podcast. And let me tell you a quick story. I know a little something about perfectionism, not because I've ever achieved it. I've always wanted to, but I know that that is an impossible goal, like Don Quixote, the impossible dream, right? So I have been working a lot on mindset and trying to quote unquote take captive certain thoughts that essentially stress me out, make me anxious. And you work so hard on that. And you try to just, try to be the positive mindset. And then you catch yourself with this thought and it's almost like, how did this one slip through? And then you find yourself kind of going down that rabbit hole, so to speak, for a couple of minutes. You're like, wait a minute, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? Like, what little thing, this one thought slipped through. And then all of a sudden it's like, kind of do the whole joke, the Matrix. It's like things just started like flying at you. You know what I mean? So I get how easy it is to just find yourself struggling with negativity. Like it just hits you like that. And then you're in this like rabbit hole and this tailspin. Totally makes sense to me. Been there, done that, right? So this topic will cover reframing, positive self-talk, and building a resilient mindset. Understanding the mindset loop. The brain has a negativity bias. It just does. That's how we're made. It's why it remembers more criticism than compliments. I remember probably one of the biggest aha moments for me was someone who I'm close to, one of my good friends, almost like a sister to me because I've known her for so long and she's known me for so long. I remember her saying to me, gosh, it's like 90 degrees. Like, why aren't you wearing shorts? Like, aren't you hot? And I was like, well, kinda, I guess. But I never really wear shorts. And she's like, what? I was like, yeah, I haven't worn shorts, I don't know, maybe 20 years. And she was like, really? Why? And I was like, well, because I had this person tell me that my legs were big and I just decided to not wear shorts. And she was like, okay, who said that to you? And the harder I tried, like the hardest, I tried so hard to come up with who had said that. But guess what? That person, their face was almost like, remember the old like black and white on the TV screen? That's what it looked like. I could not remember who it was that said that to me. I did not remember what the person looked like. I had no clue who that was. And she literally looked at me and I was like, I don't know. And she's like, so you've based all this time of your life on somebody that you don't even know who it was that said it. You know what? All that summer, the next summer, I wore shorts. And guess what? The world didn't screech to a stop. No one said anything to me. Because guess what? People don't care. They're busy living their own lives. And the people that say stuff to you are the people that are bullies, and their opinions don't matter in the first place, right? They're unhappy with themselves. So of course they're going to have something to say about you. It's their own self-confidence that causes them, or lack thereof, that causes them to be bullies, right? No one likes a bully. Also, certain thoughts trigger feelings, and these feelings drive our actions, and our actions shape our results. The key insight or takeaway here is you can't always control your first thought, but you can control your second one. Mini takeaway. When you catch a negative thought, pause and label it. That's worry. Or that's fear. That's my inner critic. Labeling creates space to respond instead of react. Reframing negative thoughts. What is reframing? It's not pretending everything's fine. It's finding a more empowering angle. Examples. I failed. I learned something valuable about what doesn't work. Instead of I'm behind, I'm building at my own pace. Instead of this is too hard, this is stretching me into someone stronger. See how that works? See how much more positive it is, and you're not beating yourself up over and over again? Next strategy, the pivot in 3 method. Number 1, catch it. Notice the negative thought. Once you notice the negative thought, step 1's done. Step 2, challenge. Challenge it. Ask, is this thought absolutely true? And then your logic kind of kicks in and you start thinking, let's say the thought is you've always been a loser. Okay, I've always been a loser, but that's not the case, because I did these things right and these things right and these things right. And you start realizing that you're being lied to in your brain. Not everything that comes up here is true. Not everything that comes up here belongs to you and is your thought. Number 3, choose differently. Replace it with one that supports your growth. Action step. This week, write down one recurring negative thought and reframe it using the pivot in 3 method. Catch it, challenge it, choose differently. Positive self-talk that actually sticks, because that is the strategy that is going to be the home run. I'm not saying that you need to be a person who pretends or fakes it till you make it about positivity, because toxic positivity can feel fake. And true experience with people that I've had in my life, I'm a very optimistic, happy-go-lucky type person. That's always how I've always been that way. I mean, do I have issues where I go get down? Sure, everyone does. But a lot of people have come to me who had just met me, and, they were they admitted to me later on, they were like, I never really met someone as super positive as you were. And I, at one point, thought that you were fake. But the more I got to know you, the more I realized you're just like that. I mean, I don't know why you're like that, but you're like that. And I realize now that is you, and I was like, well, thank you. Because I definitely am not a fake person. And that's something that I wanted to do and show in the podcast, the authenticity, the love I have for people, the desire to encourage people, empower them with tools that will help them level up their life and live the life they want to live, and model that for their children, and it potentially be their legacy. I know that sounds really hippy-dippy, but it's what I truly want to do and I believe. So yeah, positive, like overly positive, sugar-coated, like positivity that's fake, people can see right through that. And we don't need to put on a show for anyone else. We just need to be ourselves. And we need to do what feels authentic in our heart and our soul and who we are, and be who we are. The people that like you, great. The people that don't like you, not for you, right? So use your name when you're talking to yourself. Use your name. Instead of, I can do this, say, my name, you've got this. It activates self-regulation in the brain. 2, anchor phrases. Create short, believable affirmations like, I can figure this out. I'm learning to trust myself. I've done hard things before. Are those all true? Absolutely they are. Environment check. Surround yourself with voices that reinforce belief, not drain it, from your playlist to your people. Action step. Record a short voice memo of your favorite positive self-talk phrases and listen to it in the morning. Building a resilient outlook. Resilience isn't about staying strong or faking it till you make it. It's about bouncing back with softness and self-trust. The 4 pillars of resilience. Perspective. Zoom out. Will this matter in a year? Preparation. Build daily grounding habits, journaling, walks, breath work. Purpose. Anchor challenges to your why. People. Build a support network that helps you reset faster. Quick practice. When overwhelmed, ask, what can I control right now? What's one small action that moves me forward? Who can I reach out to for perspective? Action step. Create a resilience reset list. 5 go-to activities that help you regulate your emotions. Music, movement, journaling, a friend call, etc. You know what helps you reset and who helps you reset. Don't call Negative Nancy because she's not going to be there to help you. She's going to tell you that the sky is falling and you're right. You're never going to achieve anything in life, and so you may as well just take a nap. That is not who you call, and you know that, and I know that. So remember the Reframe, Rebuild, Rise framework. Also, I encourage you to practice 1 reframing moment a day. Practice makes perfect. You got to flex that muscle and build that muscle up. Reminder, a positive mindset isn't about ignoring pain. It's about trusting your ability to transform it. Take the Pivot 3 challenge this week. Catch 1 negative thought per day, challenge it, and choose a better one. Share your favorite reframe with me on Instagram at recovering_perfectionist_mama. I'd love to feature a few on next week's episode. So if you're interested in that, feel free, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.